Hey everyone, welcome back to Fiscal Voyage. I'm Felix, and today's video we'll talk about some Bitcoin price action. And wow. Bitcoin had an amazing run last week, and you can see here it went as from the low Monday, August 17, to basically today high of 81,255, which is about 29.6% increase in about a week and a day or so. So what happened? In a previous video a few weeks ago, I think I call this as the low because of this support line here. And where I got that line, it is from the monthly here, the monthly body candle right here. And you can see how it kind of respected that very nicely. How it was resistance here, kind of broke out, closed above it, but then it closed under it, and then now act as a support here once it closed above it. And this is exactly where we fell right there. We have the monthly 50 moving average there as well. We have the weekly 200 there as well, which is actually above here, but this is the 233 that I like to use as well. And you see how it bounced perfectly on that line there. And then we had this amazing run up last week. So now, like I mentioned in previous video, if we get above this here, it's going to go to 82 grand, which is also coincides with the weekly 50. So we need a close on the weekly. So basically what we need to continue higher is a close above this on the weekly, on the red line, above that, above the moving average on the 50. And once we get a close above that for a week, a nice weekly close above it, then we're going back to 100 grand. And because basically we are now creating a higher low or a higher high here as we break this resistance area, which was support, and now it turned to resistance. And we have this 50 moving average as resistance as well. So this is why in the day, you can see how it has a kind of like a topping tail. Here, this is today's. We have a nice topping tail. It's because there's resistance in this area. What I think possibly could happen is we get a little pullback or some consolidation right here, and then we go we wait for the 13 moving average on the daily to catch up. We could get a pullback, or we just get some consolidations to then break higher, retest, and then go back to 100 grand. So that's kind of what I am expecting here. If we do just continue to go higher on a weekly, maybe sometime this week, today or tomorrow, Thursday, and we get a big green bar on the weekly and close above it, it's going to continue to go, because we close above this resistance, we close above this resistance, so that looks very promising. And back to the power law chart, it held. It did have a little peekaboo for the first time in Bitcoin history under this right here, which was the low of so far of this cycle. And then we have this big bounce. You see how it just continues to follow this power law. So that's why I tell you guys to study Bitcoin, study money, study Bitcoin, watch a lot of podcasts, hours of podcasts, basically a week of maybe 2 to 3 hours a day of podcasts, and study Bitcoin. And you can see how it kind of respecting the power law here in 2022 with the FTX crash, COVID here in 2020, and during 2015 and 2016, you can see how it kind of just followed the power law there very nicely. So study Bitcoin. And another thing I want to show you is the moving average on the 4 years moving average. You can see here Blues has always been great buying opportunity, great buying opportunity, great buying opportunity. This is why I tell you to, was buying Bitcoin. And I'm still going to be buying Bitcoin until it gets kind of like back to, in reality, I'm buying up to maybe 140 or so. And then I'm going to settle down on the Bitcoin buying and just use what I have and wait for, maybe a 20-30% pullback. Once we get a new all-time high, that's where I'll start, like 130, 140. Is when I'll start to cool off on the buying and just kind of wait and see and wait for kind of like a pullback to a moving average or something like that. Again, if we look at the MACD on the weekly, it shows perfectly. We have the green here, which was this week here, close on the July 27th. And you can see here basically 2 weeks of a little green bar and then a red bar, and then boom, blast off. And I gave you a good buying opportunity once this turned green. And if you subscribe to this channel, you see that I mentioned that as well. So now we can, like I said, fumble around here, fumble around there, or do a little pullback to maybe 73 or 74, and then break out of here and then a retest to then back to 100 grand. So that's kind of like what I'm expecting now with Bitcoin. So we do have this resistance here. Another thing on the monthly as well. Once this turns, get a little green dot, that's going to look very promising. You can see here how the MACD is basically the top here. You can see how, even though this, for example, in 2022, even though it turned like dark red here, which kind of like represents kind of like lower pressure on the sellers, was great buying opportunity here. So that's kind of like what we're getting right now. And once we turn green here, is blast off on the monthly, and expecting 140. I don't know if it's going to happen this year, possibly, or maybe second quarter of next year. And we'll see what happens with the Clarity Act. If that has kind of like a big catalyst, right away gets passed, and buyers just front run the U.S. government and financial institution and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens. But again, we have the weekly here that's going to have some resistance here. So I do expect kind of maybe like a pullback, maybe a week or two of red candles. Or if we do just blast off this week or next week and get a close above that, that's going to look very, very bullish and back to 100 grand. So again, like I mentioned, study Bitcoin, understand Bitcoin, watch a lot of podcasts on Bitcoin, study it, and you would thank yourself in 4 to 6 years. So thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.